Yo, what's good? It's your boy Big Steve, and welcome to the Haze and Blue, where we smoke and talk Michigan football. So let's get into it. So I finally was able to get around to watch the spring game, and be honest, it was more than what I expected to be. I did like what I saw, and I think there's no more questions to be asked about who's going to be QB1. It's definitely going to be Bryce Underwood. I was surprised that Jaden Davis did not enter the transfer portal. With that being that he can possibly be at Michigan for 2 years and bearing injuries, may not get no playing time. So I support his dedication to stick around and compete, but it's clear as day who's going to be the starting quarterback comes the New Mexico game, I believe it is, the first game of the season. But other than that, man, my reaction to the spring game, once again, it's a bona fide scrimmage, so it's not too much we can put into it. But however, it was cool to see the ball get thrown a little more. It was some plays out there that which I feel if it was the ones taking those reps and running those routes, it definitely would have been a lot of more passes completed. The transfer, he only from Indiana, he had one catch, but I don't think he played much. Maybe because they didn't McCollins. He's a fifth-year player, so it ain't really much you need to see from him at this point. So it definitely was some great play in it. It definitely was some questionable plays in it. And so with that being said, man, we're going to talk a little more about who's going to be some breakout stars from this game, for the 2025 season. And some players we can look at. And once again, I definitely feel we need to look at Jalen Hoffman, probably one of my favorite players now, being that my son is named Jalen. So shout out to Jalen Hoffman. He's the player who caught the touchdown in the game on the trick play. But if you watch that game, man, this dude had a lot of great looking catches and tight coverage, where Bryce Underwood really showed he's him, and Jalen Hoffman really showed that maybe not this year, being that we have a Hogan Hansen and Marlon Clyde, but he can be that third tight end and slash fullback that they're going to put him on the field. They're going to put this dude on the field. He seemed like a talented player. He was all over the field during the spring game, so he's definitely somebody to keep an eye on. And it was another player that with Benjamin Hall leaving in the transfer portal, it kind of made me, question why would he do that. But after seeing the young dude, I got to make sure I say his name right. I think he's from Michigan. Bryson Kuzadal. This dude looked it real good, man. He looked it real fucking good in that backfield. He had some big runs, and no disrespect to Chris Jenkins, it just so happened his best runs was during the fucking Chris Jenkins interview, and it kind of took away from the impact this dude was having. Like, not to say a star is born, but I would not be surprised if Bryson Kuzadal has one or two plays per game where he's in the game and they're going to give him the ball. He looked like he was a lot bigger than 5'11", 198. He kind of reminded me of a Zach Charbonnet with better cuts. So this dude definitely, man, somebody I'm going to be looking out for. He was definitely somebody stepping up and making some bright spots. We know we got Justice Hayes. We know we got Jordan Marshall. So to see players like this where we can have depth, especially when it get towards November, you got players banged up. You need somebody to be ready when you call on them. This dude and Jalen Hoffman is definitely some pieces to have on his depth. I was very impressed by these guys. very impressed by these dudes. And once again, I really was just kind of watching the offense because we already know who the defense is going to look like. There's a lot of returning players. You know, that was Young last year. We had Hill at corner. I did like the Metcalf brothers. Both of the Metcalf brothers, I did like those dudes. They both made some plays. One of them had an interception. So that defense is going to be nice. But offense is where I feel we have to. It don't take much to be better than last year's offense. Let's just look at it that way. But these two dudes, man, Bryson Coosdale, what the fuck his name is? I'm just going to call him Bryson. Bryson definitely was a bright spot in the spring game, and so was Jalen Huffman. Some offensive linemen looked deep. It definitely looked like this offense is poised to have a crazy breakout season, which is going to be awesome, being that we have Oklahoma, the second game of the season, which your boy will be there. So, yeah, Jalen Hoffman is definitely somebody I'm gonna keep my eye on, man. But everybody know that the main position we gonna have to really worry about are the fucking receivers. And I'm gonna be honest, it was a couple of receivers I was impressed with. Channing Goodwin. It seemed like they definitely threw him the ball a lot. He's a freshman. He'll be a sophomore next year, so he still got time to develop. Once again, this was a spring game. You know, September's a couple months away. These dudes definitely got time to learn. And so to have Channing Goodwin, have Jalen Hoffman, have the running back Bryson, that's what you want to see. That's what championship teams need. So that's definitely 3 spots right there, man. So shout out to Channing Goodwin, the freshman from North Carolina, definitely a bright spot. But with the players that's going to probably be stars, we also got to look at the players that stock might be dropping. And the first player that comes to mind is Samaj Morgan. Being that this is sophomore year, it was a play where Bryce Underwood threw a fade route to him. It just looked ugly. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't got no words that can say, but the pass to Samaj Morgan, I'm like, he got to be in the slot. Not saying him on the outside, but he needs film. He needs to master the slot. And being this your third year, once again, you have McCollin coming over from Indiana. You have Channing Goodwin looking like a possible good receiver. You have Marsh, number 4, a possible good receiver you got to put on the field. I'm starting to see that Samaj Morgan, a player that we all feel got crazy talent, had a big freshman year, made a bunch of plays that year that really got us with the expectations we have of him now. So Samaj Morgan is definitely somebody that his stock is dropping, and I would not be surprised that come September, he's 4th or 5th on the depth chart. And so basically, the whole receiving core from last year. Because Frederick Moore didn't look good neither. He had to drop this game. And like I say, with the additions of McCollin and Channing Goodwin's looking like a good receiver, you have a couple incoming freshmen that look like they're going to make a name for themselves. Frederick Moore and Samaj Morgan cannot afford to make any mistakes. Because one thing I did, even though the receiving core is mainly young, like I say, Marsh, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Andrew Marsh. him, Chaney, Goodwin, then you have McCollum. These dudes look like they're going to be on that field. So, I don't even think they got the freshman's name on here. No, they don't. Because I see some players that transfer. Shit. Tyler Moore's ain't even that no more. But their receiving room is definitely looking a lot better. It's looking a lot better since the Nico Collins year, where we're supposed to have Nico and Donovan Peoples-Jones, their junior year, where the quarterback play just fucked it all up that year. I can see this receiving core being similar to them, where Bryce Underwood be able to make some plays with his arm and his legs, give his receivers time. This can be a big year for the receivers, and I'm excited to see how it look, man. So the spring game was definitely a positive for me. Some veterans looked good. I saw Rashad Benny out there. I saw the linebacker from Nebraska. I can never fucking remember his name. But you saw a lot of good plays. You saw Brady Hillman. Those white shoes that Brady Hillman and Samaj Morgan had on, that's why Samaj Morgan looked like that. Them white shoes, them motherfuckers look like a size 16 on him. And I'm a big-ass nigga, and I wear 16. Them, so Michigan, talk to them dudes. I don't know if those was Jordans they was wearing or y'all had some type of spring game where you can just wear anything. Them niggas look like they was playing the all-white Air Force Ones out there. Not a good look. So maybe I'm going to go over the spring game again and focus a lot more on the offensive line and defensive line play. Like I said, this game I just mostly just paid attention to the skill players. Running back room, totally impressed with. We 3 deep. Receiving room, I'm not going to jump the gun yet and just say they're going to be back and we're going to have a 1,000-yard receiver. McCollum still is a player that is going to have to prove himself. He's going to have to prove himself. We got some young receivers, but we always had some great young receivers with potential. We just never see it when it comes time for the season. Hopefully with this new era of the Michigan offense and the new offensive coordinator coming from North Carolina, where they're known to have a more balanced attack with running game and passing game, this Michigan team can really, really have a great season offensively, which, like I say, being compared to academy schools when it comes to passing is not a good thing at all. So anything is going to be better than last year. But once again, not to overlook New Mexico or whoever the fuck we playing game 1, but that Oklahoma game is going to be crazy. Your boy will be there. So once again, if you in Oklahoma, if you flying to Oklahoma, leave a comment one of these days. And, if you tailgating, wherever, shout me out. We can league, have a shot, whatever, man. But other than that, go motherfucking blue.